I saw some, dry brush and leaves around, so, I said to move the bonfire somewhere else, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear shows up and hugs me.
So you noticed some wildfire hazards and moved your bonfire to a safer location.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Smokey, all right. He likes it when people help prevent wildfires. It hits him close to home. Not everybody gets the hug, my friend. So that's pretty special to get a hug from Smokey Bear.
So it was him. Guys, I told you it was Smokey.
Okay, well, congratulations, my friend. And thanks for calling. There are many ways to prevent a wildfire. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. Waking up every day, lifting him from the bed to the wheelchair to the car to get him to therapy on time. It's no small task between the doctors and the diagnosis, but nothing can disable this love. This is my big brother, my hero. He's part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. See, there's no time for tired. This starts again tomorrow. He'll be waiting for me. I wake up for him. I know he needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 877-333-5885. Caregiving Resource Center. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do. Oh, tell the world I see with an emoji to stop the bullies.
Know someone who's being bullied online? Send the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more about the witness emoji at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? When a tornado is tearing through town? Or a hurricane strikes? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Because that's the bottom line. The Stone Cold said so.
Everybody dies.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it. Woo! Yes, sir! What the rock is cooking.
Now, welcome to Off the Mat with Alex Lowe's, Josh Silverberg, and Lyle Gillen.
Yeah, we're back, baby. Well, two-thirds of us are. Another one's out at the UBS Arena watching the Islanders play tonight. That's besides the point. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Only Wrestling Talk Show here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and on bodyslam.net. Welcome to Off the Mat. I am your host, Josh Silverberg, joining you every single Friday, whether it be from 5:30 to 6:50 or 6 to 6:50, whatever the time is, whatever, and everything like that, and so on and so forth. But we have a lot to get to in this little time. And then I didn't run this by Speedy, but if we can go to a quick break at 6:30, be greatly appreciated, of course. I'm sure we'll be okay with that. Perfect. Alex, I'm sure you're good with that too. Just take a breather to cool off a little bit. But yeah, we are back. A lot to get into. And of course, with me, my co-host at this time, Mr. Alex Lowe's. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Josh. It was yet again another amazing week for professional wrestling. We had AEW Revolution. We had Dynamite. There's so much to get into. It's going to be a great show tonight, so stick with us the whole way through, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Absolutely. Stick with us the whole way. And of course, we said Lyle Gillen. He is out this week. He will be back next week. So that's okay. And of course, we got Speedy PD always producing. Again, here's how you can listen to our show and other shows as well. You can download the Worldwide Sports Radio Network app. If you have an iPhone, you go to the Apple Store, you type in WWSRN. If you have an Android, you go to the Google Play Store and you type in Worldwide Sports. Click install. It's all free. You get our show schedules, all the articles from the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch. If you are driving, you can listen to the audio feed as well. If you want to rewatch something or listen to something again or play something back, you have all that at the tip of your fingers. And you can also check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com. Also, don't forget to check us out on one of the absolute best wrestling insider pages out there and inside sources in the country. That is bodyslam.net. Check out the YouTube page and check out the website as well. It's great stuff and just a lot, to talk about and get into and everything. But of course, we have to plug in our own Off the Mat page, which I will let Mr. Slows do right now.
So we have the Off the Mat website. The link is in our Twitter description and bio. You click on that link and it'll take you to the site where you get a upcoming pay-per-view and show schedule for 2022. It has now been updated with April into May. So now we have Joey Janela's Spring Break 6 on there. We have Planet Death for GCW. We got Double or Nothing on there as well, and so much more for the pay-per-view schedule. Also, check out the show archive that has all replays of our past episodes. There is a special guest interview page, which you can check out, and which has all of the guest interviews that we have done on Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and now bodyslam.net. And we have an ACW American Combat Wrestling page, and you can contact us directly if you choose to. So
and also on a little ticker as well, the little ticker as well. You can check out our Twitter pages and everything like that. We're all over the place. What I want to do is I want to try to get us because we're going to be in Vegas for Double or Nothing. I want to try to get us to do a show maybe Sunday. Because we're all going to be in the same house, so we'll all just be in different rooms and stream a show that way. Possibly, I think maybe we could possibly do it that way. I think that'd be a cool idea to do it.
I think it'd definitely be an awesome idea.
I think it would be something that would be a lot of fun. We could preview Double or Nothing right before we go to the show that night. But also remember, for our time, it's 3 hours of a difference.
Yeah.
Also, going to give something away a little bit. We are in the process and works of trying to create a store for Off the Mat as well, which is an amazing, awesome idea. A lot of people, Carl specifically, has been clamoring for it. So you will get the opportunity to get some merchandise and stuff like that for Off the Mat. We are in the process of working out the details with that and getting things done. Lyle has been running that and everything. All of that good stuff is really going to be a great idea to get the word out. Show
Absolutely.
show the support for the show and everything like that. So, because let's be real here, Alex is the only one that has an Off the Mat shirt. So, I mean, we got to call it like it is. But it really is, I think, going to be a lot of fun. But we'll get, but we will definitely give you more details when they come. Nothing's been confirmed yet. We just been working on it. So yeah, and then of course coming up next, right after our show, we have Weapons Hot, a New York Jets podcast show. They are going to be, I'm sure, talking all about the free agency and the NFL draft and the combine, especially the free agency tampering period starts on Monday at 12. And of course, the Deshaun Watson news that came out that he's been cleared of charges. So every team is going to be lining up for him to acquire his sources. I have my phone left out as well, due in large part once I could see, and my mom, Marilyn Silverberg, reached out saying, I can't wait to buy things. So I love the support there, especially from family. It's the best. And keep my phone out for comments. If you have comments, Alex will read the comments on the YouTube page, I believe, and I will read the comments on the Facebook page and everything.
Absolutely.
Like that. But Weapons Hot is coming up next, so you're going to want to definitely check that out right after us on here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. So tune in for those guys with Jimmy and CJ and Kevin Jackson and all those boys talking all about football and everything like that. And I also have my phone out because baseball is up and running again. I know your dad is probably ecstatic. He can't wait to get over to DC and get started and get going with that. So, but we've already had a frenzy of signings. And just really quick, I wanted to clarify something because I know Carr brought it up. Speedy, remember when I said nobody said boo about the Yankees and their spending. The fans said things about their spending. The owners never said a word about the Yankees overspending money when George Steinbrenner was in charge. It was never the owners. It was always the fans would be annoyed about it. So I wanted to clear that up and clarify. But I wanted to thank Errol and Speed for letting me call in last night. It's the first time I had been on Loud Mouths in a very long time. Probably, I think, since I left the show. But they're doing good stuff over there every Wednesday and Thursday night. Thursday nights at 9 o'clock. You can check that out here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. But let's get right into it, Mr. Slows. And there's a lot to recap. And before I let you get started, there's a lot to digest.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be a lot about Revolution. It's going to be a lot about Dynamite. We're going to get into some Stone Cold stuff. I also have personal sadness that I need to discuss, and that involves the Briscoes. If nobody saw that news today, we'll get into a little bit later. And everything of that sort. But let's start with what we saw at Revolution. What were your takeaways from Revolution? What did you like? What didn't you like? What do you think was really spot on? What do you think could have been fixed? Give me your thoughts.
So I would say the one thing that I really enjoyed from this pay-per-view was the entrances for MJF and CM Punk for their dog collar match. So I had no clue this was going to happen going into watching the pay-per-view. I thought he was just going to come out to Cult of Personality. No, he did something entirely different. He came out to his Ring of Honor theme, and I loved it. It was incredible. It got me out of my chair. Like it got me going for this match. It had me really excited for this match. So I think Tony Khan did the right thing here, made the right move with buying the rights to Ring of Honor, because that allowed CM Punk to switch it up and really change up his entrance there. And I really enjoyed that part. Also, the match itself was very good. You had a lot of shots being digged in with the chain. You had MJF using all of his momentum in that match to try and fool CM Punk. And it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable to watch. There was some blood that was added to the match, which I really thought it added more excitement to the match and made it seem more aggressive. And then one thing that I did not like about this pay-per-view was the ladder match, the Face of the Revolution ladder match, excuse me. I think having Wardlow win I think it was too early to push Wardlow in. Just in my opinion. I just think maybe they could have held off a little bit longer before pulling the trigger.
No. To me, it was the right call. I think when you have a right to your opinion, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely the right call. I enjoyed it very much. There's a lot of takeaways that I have in regards to Revolution. One, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer with it, but the thing is, I'm a school teacher and I get up at 4:00 in the morning. Because I have my son too. I think AEW, if they're going to do a Sunday pay-per-view, I think it needs to be capped at 11. That's the time cap it's got to be at. It cannot end at midnight. You cannot.
Yeah, I can see
midnight.
Midnight's too late.
People have work the next day.
Yeah.
Kids have school. You gotta be respectful of that. I think that's something that I think that's why and I understand they don't want to get involved. They don't want to. They have a relationship with UFC, so they don't want to interfere with UFC and go head to head with them. At the same time, they only have 4 pay-per-views a year. Like, you could find a Saturday where you don't match with UFC. I think that was something that I was talking to Jeff Lippman about it. Actually, we're gonna have Jeff on,
and then also them trying to match with the NBA. That kind of kills the TV rating.
No, the NBA thing is their TV. They did great for this pay-per-view. Their buy rates were phenomenal for this pay-per-view. The only complaint I really had was that it ended at midnight. I think it ended way too late. I mean, Lyle and Matt didn't leave my house till 5 to 12.
Well, I did find out what the attendance record was, and it was 8,000.
Which they sold it out. Which, again, there's also another thing I have a bone to pick with you. So they were in Fort Myers on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go. I'm trying to figure out.
I had the work, man. Otherwise, I would have gone.
Forget the work for a second. Forget the work. They were in Jacksonville for a year and a half. You didn't go. They had one of the best pay-per-views in Orlando, about 45 to an hour away from you. You didn't go. They were literally in your backyard. You didn't go.
But I'm going to Double or Nothing.
No. You see, that's the thing. It was literally in Fort Myers, for where you live, and you didn't go. Shame on you. Okay, that is unacceptable in my eyes. That you have not even yet been to an AEW show. I know you had work, but we got to get that fixed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But I'm glad Double or Nothing is going to be your first show. But I mean, you could have called out.
I probably could have.
Yeah, 100% you could have. You could have called out.
Josh, I wanted to add
do this thing tonight. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I wanted to add one more thing about one of the matches that I really.
Here we go. He's back to being serious again. Go on.
No, because I'm saying I really enjoyed this part of the
What did you enjoy, Alex?
And it was the Jurassic Express, Red Dragon, and Young Bucks match. I mean, the chemistry in this match was unbelievable. And you can tell all these competitors were neck and neck. They were just delivering crazy shots, especially one move that I saw in particular where I'm not sure which one of the Jackson brothers it was, but he came off the top rope, caught Luchasaurus, and put him into a Canadian Destroyer off the top rope. I thought that was brilliant. And it was well done, and it was well executed, and it was timed perfectly. And they timed all of their moves perfectly in the match. I mean, there was just so much going on to where it came down to eventually Jurassic Express and Red Dragon, and Jurassic Express retained the championship. So I did like that move.
But you said that, but you see at the same time, the Young Bucks wound up getting pinned in the match. That was the thing. But again, more than just the time thing. A lot of takeaways. I said, Alex said it. One of them being CM Punk with the nostalgia.
Yeah, that was great.
Coming out to the AFI theme, which I knew right away what it was.
I knew exactly.
And the thing
what
is,
it was.
and the thing is about Punk is, if you've never seen his dog collar match against Raven in Ring of Honor, you should go check it out.
Yeah, you need to watch that match.
He's done dog collar matches before. That's something that he is used to. He's done he has expressed that it is a very challenging thing. He doesn't know if he's going to do it again. There's a lot of things that I really enjoyed. The Eddie Kingston Chris Jericho match starting out the show was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That was again, you could make the case that was Jericho's best match in AEW that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to Jericho a little bit more when we recap Dynamite. The tag team match, again, like you said, was awesome. I thought it really did flow well with those three.
Yeah, it really did.
And the thing is, and again, this leads us into Dynamite later with Red Dragon being picked for Adam Cole's partners. And I know Adam Cole said Jurassic Express is going to be his partners for next week. I'm not so sure that that's going to happen.
No.
So that was a nice, it flowed well. It did really great. The tag team division in AEW is stacked.
It really, there's a lot of different tag teams you got.
And it's the ladder match to me was fine. It wasn't their best, ladder match. And it turned out Orange Cassidy actually hurt himself in the ladder match, so he's going to be out for a few months. But I actually expected Wardlow to win the match. Because I knew this.
I wasn't expecting it.
I did. I knew this would be his launch pad. This was going to be him getting shot to the moon. But the good thing is he's not going for the AEW championship. He's going for the TNT championship, which we'll see next week against Scorpio Sky, which more Dynamite. We will get into all that. Love the main event.
Main event was great.
Adam Page continues to, excuse me. And you got to understand something. Hold on really quick about this match. About this pay-per-view alone. This was arguably the best pay-per-view AEW's had, and Kenny Omega wasn't on the card. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that people are really missing is Kenny Omega was not on this card, and it was one of their best pay-per-views.
It was.
And that's
really was.
That's the crazy thing about this is when you look at how Page has really started to develop into one of those special performers because you look at his last few matches that he's had with Danielson, Omega. I think those were 5-star matches. And then you got your I think it was a 4.75 he got, which again, Meltzer star ratings. Whatever, but it's
whatever it goes.
The one thing I really, 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 really enjoyed the most was Moxley, Danielson, and seeing William Regal come out.
That was great.
Because the thing is, and this is something that people are they're not realizing this. William Regal,
he mentored Danielson.
I know his promo a little long on Wednesday, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He is so massively large for the behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a massive part of NXT.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, and the praise he gave to Danielson on Wednesday, and the praise he gave to Moxley on Wednesday, mostly obviously Moxley. Yeah, I mean, you got to remember something. I believe him and Moxley, at the time with Dean Ambrose, they had a little bit of a smidge of a rivalry. I believe in OVW, they had a little bit of a rivalry. Regal and Moxley.
That I never knew.
He's known Danielson for years. So it's 21 years, he said.
But I knew he knew Danielson because he mentored Danielson for a while.
Yes, and I believe he had a rivalry with Moxley in OVW. So that was something that, and he knew him from NXT anyway. So this is something that when we look at as a whole, William Regal is going to be such an integral part of the behind the scenes stuff with a lot of these wrestlers.
Yeah.
I mean, you already see like Brian Danielson's already a huge get from behind the scenes. He's been training Jay Cargill. He's
And
been
with-
training her.
And Josh, with William Regal there, it's only going to make the backstage stuff and behind the scenes work so much larger and so much better for all the competitors on that roster.
Well, it is because he's a very creative mind. He's been in the business for over 30 plus years. He's somebody that's been WWE, WCW,
General manager of NXT.
but he was a coach at the Performance Center. So he's somebody that, when you look at how Regal is, bringing him in, and I fully believe I'm going to go out and say this, and Lyle and I were talking about it Sunday night, that I believe Moxley and Danielson will be in the tag team championship match at Double or Nothing. I don't know who it's going to be against. I have no idea. It could be Jurassic Express. It could be the Young Bucks. It could be Red Dragon. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Be anybody. Well,
but to me, I think they will be the challengers for the tag team belts at Double or Nothing. That's the route I think this is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to build them up as a tag team for the next few months. Let them stockpile wins. And then they'll be the number one ranked team on, we know the rankings on AEW are kind of iffy, but they'll be the number one ranked team, I believe, going into Double or Nothing. And then I think that's how they'll get their tag team championship opportunity.
I do have a quick question for you, Josh.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you about Hangman Adam Page and his AEW title reign so far. Would you say this is one of the best AEW title reigns next to Omega and Jericho, or would you think differently?
Omega's was special because he performed all over the place and he performed constantly. I mean, you're seeing it now with his injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho's was special because he was the first champion.
Mm-hmm.
And Moxley had a very good title reign too. Let's not
discredit Moxley. Moxley went on for a while there with that title.
So it's been good. It's not been long enough yet. And that's the thing. Like, he's had Omega, Danielson. He just had a good match with Adam Cole. So he's had, even the Dante Martin match on Wednesday was really good. The thing is,
even the match against
he hasn't had no defenses. That's the only issue. Like, he didn't have the defenses that Moxley had. That
you left one out though, Lance Archer.
Archer too. That was another one. That wasn't the best match that was there. It was a good match. It was a good match. But with me, the thing is, he hasn't had enough title defenses. Like, Kenny Omega is the best AEW champion that they've had so far. That's I don't know. I put Jericho is there too, because not the best, obviously, but Jericho's in the conversation because he was the first champion, which was the right call.
Mm-hmm.
That was
it was.
The reason being is due in large part to the fact that, Alex, when you're starting a company and you want your first ever name as the first ever champion of the company, you want to be, not that Adam Page can't be, but Chris Jericho is a special breed in this business that I look at it, and it was the right call at the time.
It was.
So the things that kind of I didn't flow well with. I mean, even the Sting match was good. It had its Sting jumping off the balcony thing and from the crowd onto the tables. You had Sammy Guevara doing the flip off the set onto the tables, which was fun. The only downgrades I would say were
I would say the TBS match was a downgrade.
So the TBS match, which I expected wasn't going to be the best. The women's championship match, Rosa and Britt have had better matches. Two things here. One, they were set up for a failure in that match because they had to follow the dog collar match, but the card was so stacked that there was really no place in it, as I call it, a safe spot for them to really be put in at that point. They had to follow. I mean, And not to mention, they're setting up next week for Thunder in her hometown in San Antonio to win the belt. That's essentially what they're doing. They're setting her up next week to win the belt in her hometown.
Which would make sense why they had her lose.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why they had her win. Now they're having it in a steel cage match next week, and it's going to be that case. They've had better matches, the two of them.
They have.
And the thing is, it's time
to me,
for
that
Rosa
match
to win.
didn't live up yet.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's time for Rosa to win because Britt's been an unbelievable women's champion. She's been by far the best one. It's just she's challenged everybody on the roster that there's really nothing left for her to go up against other than obviously Jay. Like she's beaten Anna Jay, Tai Conti, Shida, Riho.
She hasn't beat Mercedes Martinez yet.
Nyla Rose. Mercedes Martinez is, I'm talking like, not that she's not good. I'm talking like upper echelon of names that are on the roster. Like she's now beating Rosa. She's beating Nyla Rose. She's beating all these names that, you know what I'm saying? Like she could probably beat Mercedes Martinez too.
I get what you're saying.
That's the thing. Like it's time for a changing of the guard, as they say, I think, to let new matches, new rivalries, new situations unfold. Britt has been phenomenal as the women's champion. And here's the thing, you got to remember, a couple of years ago, the people were saying that Britt she couldn't wrestle. She wasn't not that she could wrestle, she wasn't the best in-ring performer. Now she's just been fantastic since she has really become the champion. Her promos are great. Everything has been really good. So to me, it was a match that was set up to not succeed that night.
Yeah.
That was the thing because the card was so stacked. But we're also going back to the dog card match before we go to break, and we'll talk Dynamite when we come back. Obviously, when Wardlow came out, I knew that was when the moment was going to happen. And what I do think is going to happen, and again, we'll get into this in the Dynamite conversation, but it was perfect. Oh, oops, I forgot the ring.
Yeah, the Dynamite ring, that was a nice touch.
Looked right at Punk. And MJF told him to leave it in the ring, like he always does. He left it in the ring, and he walked away. And to me, that is the next stage for both of those men. And there's a couple of things I'm curious about what's next. Clearly, Paige and Cole are not done.
Nope.
Red Dragon, Young Bucks are probably going to start up a program. Wardlow, MJF are going to start something. Jericho, Kingston are going to continue to start something, are going to continue something with their storyline with what happened on Dynamite. CM Punk is really the one name I look at, and I'm very curious as to what's next for him. He's already had his matches with Darby Allin, with MJF.
I do have some ideas that they could go with.
He right, and I'm going to get to you in 1 second. He's already fought Darby Allin. He's fought MJF. He's fought Wardlow. He's fought Powerhouse Hobbs. He's fought Eddie Kingston. It's almost gotten to the point of, well, what does Punk do next? So before we go to break, what are your guesses do you think are next for him?
Well, someone on YouTube says House of Black. Maybe I wouldn't see that as a definite out, but I would definitely.
It wouldn't shock me because
Yeah.
he and Malachi Black or Tommy End are very close. They're very good friends. They train together, so and their styles are very similar. So that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And then the second thing would be to bring back the Straight Edge Society and have Serena Deeb in it.
No, he's a face. You're not bringing that back. No.
If you do heel,
no, he will not be a heel. That's not.
If they ever do it, which I don't
no,
think
I'm very curious as to what is next for him. Obviously he wasn't on Dynamite Wednesday. Clearly they're letting him reprieve. He hasn't been promoted for next week, so I'm wondering if maybe he's taking a little bit of time off, a little bit, maybe a couple weeks, and then I'll bring him back. Who knows? I don't know. But I will say pay-per-view was great.
It was.
Good. It was a really good show.
Phenomenal show.
It was phenomenal. It was a lot of fun. It just ended too late. That was my only flaw with it.
It was pretty long too, almost like 5 hours, I guess.
So the pre-show started, I believe, at 7 and went till 8. Started at 8. The show went till almost midnight, so about 5 hours, which is long.
Yeah.
If it was a Saturday night, that's totally fine. On a Sunday, you got to cap at 11. You got to have a hard cap at 11 because people have got to go to bed. They have work the next day. And the thing is, when you watch a really good wrestling match, you're like, how are you supposed to go to bed at that point? You're all energetic. You're amped now. Like, yep. I mean, how are you going to sleep? So when we come back, we are going to get into Dynamite, and we're going to talk about a lot that happened on Dynamite. It was a jam-packed show this week. We'll get into the Stone Cold Steve Austin news that broke this week. And then we will get to our finishing move, and we will make way for Weapons Hot coming up at 7 o'clock. This is Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and BodySlam.net. We'll be right back.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Keep a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org, a public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom when you drive her back from therapy.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing, and in your new role, we help you help. AARP gives you the information to help care for your mom so that you can have patience with her, just like she did with you. Visit aarp.org/caregiving or call 1-877-333-5885 to get practical health and wellness tips to provide even better care for your loved one.
Are we there yet?
Remember, visit aarp.org/caregiving. AARP, we help you help. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Are you ready?
Now welcome back to Off the Mat with Alex Slows, Josh Silverberg, and Lyle Gillen.
Yeah, we are back for the second half of Off the Mat right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and bodyslam.net. And we are now going to get into a little bit of a recap of Dynamite, and there was a lot to digest and get to talking to. Really, Alex, when you look at what happened, I mean, we got to start with the obvious, right? Jeff Hardy debuting.
Yeah.
The dancing
amazing.
thing was funny. His brother's getting danced in the ring, and he's just like, "Yeah, let me do this quick. Let me do this quick. All right, now I'm gonna go. You know, let me just dance for 5 seconds while my brother's getting, absolutely
his ass
in the
kicked.
ring." Yeah. That was funny. I mean, the reports were coming out all day that Jeff Hardy was backstage. Yeah, and then you heard the thing with the with Matt basically saying that the apology letter to excuse me, that the apology letter to his group was that he wants to fix things and figure things out. So you kind of knew something was happening. And then, of course, when Private Party put their thumbs down, it was done. And then once Darby and Sting came out, I was like, oh, I guess we're going to get swerved. We're going to get swerved. And then and Jeff Hardy's music plays. And good for Tony for buying the rights to the song. So it sounds like the Hardys are going to be doing their thing, the original gimmick. When they first came in, what were your thoughts when you saw Jeff Hardy come out and do everything?
When I saw Jeff Hardy come out, I was really happy because I knew the move was going to happen eventually. We all knew it was going to happen. It was only a matter of time before he would cross over to All Elite Wrestling. So I thought him appearing on Dynamite was the right move, and I'm excited to see what they do. I know the Hardy Boys got one more run left in them. I know we're going to see that. And I think it's possibly going to be against the Andrade family office. I think Andrade is going to take control of that group now, in my opinion.
Well, technically, he had control of it. It was 51-49. But now he's really good. Now it's going to be fully his.
Yep.
To me, I enjoyed it. I will say, I hope he's doing better, Jeff, with all the incidents, everything that's happened, and so on and so forth. But, to me, I think it's going to be an interesting story going forward with how they're going to portray the Hardy Boys in this division, because it's a stacked division.
There's so many ways they could do it.
They had their rivalry with the Young Bucks and Ring of Honor, so maybe you could go back to that again and do that.
But I'm talking character-wise. There's so many ways they could do it character-wise for them.
Sure.
But,
I mean, they're going to go back to their original gimmick. They
could do the original gimmick. They could
their video already came out. Their Titantron video already came out, and they were clearly this was already in the works. They had the video done already.
So they already had it done then. Okay.
Yeah. So this was already done. Boom. Everything like that. So to me, I think it was it was kind of bound to happen. Another thing that nobody, I don't think, is talking enough about is FTR firing Tully Blanchard. They fired him the other night. Wardlow leaving the Pinnacle. It sounds like Tully is out. I'm just wondering, is the Pinnacle now? Is the Pinnacle no more? Because Wardlow's out, Tully gets fired.
That's a very interesting dynamic.
Or does it still happen, and is Tully just not a part of the Pinnacle anymore?
It might still happen without Tully, but I highly doubt it.
It was just such an interesting dynamic with that because it came out of left field, and then Dax looked like he was ready to beat the living crap out of Tully after he grabbed him by his collar and started talking about family and stuff like that. And he said they didn't even want to go after the belts right now. They want to focus on Red Dragon and the Young Bucks. This is what they want to do, and Tully didn't like that, and so on and so forth. But I found that to be a very interesting concept with how they're going to do that going forward. I'm curious where that storyline goes. And then, of course, the Adam Cole Hangman story is going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just funny because the Young Bucks assumed they were going to be the ones to get picked for Cole's partners, and it turned out it was Red Dragon that was picked. And after Hangman told Dark Order, Jurassic Express wanted still a piece of the Young Bucks, so they were picked already. But now it's like, okay, now they're not picked. Does Hangman go back to the Young Bucks because the Young Bucks can't stand Red Dragon? Does this start a whole situation now? Does this start a problem or a friction where I think we all can kind of guess is going to happen at some point, where the Bucks are going to eventually just not be a part with Adam Cole anymore. Like, that's the thing. That's definitely
It could happen, but it's not going to happen right away. I think Tony Khan and AEW, they're going to take their time with it to build up the story.
I don't know about that because the Bucks, I think, are going to be the tag team partners next week for Hangman. I think that's where it's going to start. I do.
You think that's where it starts?
Mm-hmm. I could see Jurassic Express getting getting beat up before the match. Hangman doesn't have a partner, and boom, out come the Young Bucks. And I think that could really, really start something. I really believe that.
And with the Hardy Boys in AEW now, that definitely levels the tag team division even more. Because now you got a very, very experienced tag team on the roster.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, it's such a stacked division that it's almost like when you look at it, it's where do the Bucks – I mean, not the Bucks. Where do the Hardys fit in this division? That's the thing. And listen, I'm sure they'll try to find room. But, like I said, we will see where it lands. And, of course, you had Thunder Rosa winning her match over Layla Hirsch. It's now been announced as a cage match for next week. Like I said, Rosa's probably going to win that. And then, of course, we got to talk about the Jericho. One before we get the Wardlow the Wardlow interview was really good. I loved it. I thought it flowed nicely. He sounded very confident on the mic. I thought he did a good job. And then the William Regal one, it went a little over time, and he apologized on Twitter about that. But it was a really good interview with Regal, I thought, discussing everything on why he's here and what he wants to bring to AEW and everything like that, which I thought was great. And all those that are spreading rumors about his health and stuff like that, shame on you. It's not true. He denied it. But the Jericho thing was interesting. I hate the name. I think it's the Jericho.
Yeah, that's a stupid name. I'm sorry. I don't like it. It's too corny to me. Sounds too corny.
I hate it. It's too. It's silly. It's corny. You even could have had Inner Circle 2.0, which would have been cool. To me, I like the group that they're forming with Hager, Daniel Garcia, and 2.0. That's cool. I kind of thought something was going to happen when you just kept seeing 2.0 just kept throwing Jericho down, but they weren't really like physically beating him up. They were just pushing him down. But they were physically beating up, Kingston.
Yep.
And then the thing with the bad happened, and then the whole thing came about it. What were your thoughts on Dynamite this week, other than the Hardy Boys stuff?
I thought this Dynamite was great. One of the matches I really enjoyed was the title defense. Hangman putting the AEW title again on the line, but this time against Dante Martin. And Dante Martin he does not surprise me at all with everything he does. He's just spot on with his moveset, and he took Hangman Page to the limit. I mean, this guy is unbelievable in terms of a high-flying wrestler. And I want to see more of Dante Martin on TV because we haven't seen much of him lately. We need to see more of this.
Well, now that Darius is back, Top Flight's back, which is awesome with the tag team. I think it's going to be a nice piece for them to have that. That's
a team you could put up against the Hardys.
They did a great. Darius did a great job in his first match back in the Battle Royal. He really did with the Bucks, and everything like that. I thought that was awesome how that went. But
another match I enjoyed was Wheeler Yuta and Pac. That was a very good.
Yeah, they fit that in because the title match went a little short, so Tony fit that in.
I thought that was an interesting piece to the Dynamite this week. And Pac and Wheeler Yuta, they almost have similar styles, so it was a great matchup in that terms.
For sure, and I know we're cutting short on time, but I know.
And then the Jurassic Express against the Acclaimed.
That was a good match too.
It was.
Yes, but Dynamite was very good this week. But let's get into now the news, and we'll get to our finishing move in a little bit.
Yep. About Stone Cold.
Stone Cold Steve Austin officially announcing he will be at WrestleMania. Now, they're having it, I think, as a KO show kind of thing, but nobody knows because apparently he's been working out now So, like, I feel like nobody knows what Austin's going to do. Is he having a match with Owens? Is he going to be on the KO show?
I don't think it's a match.
I don't know. So that's the thing. Like, but if he's like working out, though, is it like what does that turn into then? Like, are we?
It depends on if Steve Austin himself wants to go that route.
I mean, if he's working out, though, if he's trying to get in physical shape, doesn't that change things? Maybe, I don't know.
It does, possibly, but I'm saying if Steve Austin feels himself that he can go one more time in the ring, then do it. But if he feels like he can't and his body just feels like not going in that direction and he feels like his body can't keep up with it, then don't do it.
No, I mean, I'm with you. I think it's, to me, I'm still trying to figure out what route are they going with this? Where are they going with the Austin stuff? Is it a match? Is it a show?
A run-in? It could be a run-in.
No, it's not even a run-in. It's going to involve Kevin Owens. And I thought the promo for Austin was awesome. It got me hyped for sure. It's like I said, you're trying to figure out where things fit, where things go, what happens, where does it be put, where do you put everything? So, we'll see what happens with that for sure. I am interested to see what they decide to do with Austin and Owens. But yeah, we're cutting short on time. Alex, we got to get to our finishing move and let the Webatalk guys get on. So what is your finishing move for this evening, sir?
So my finishing move is actually this week in wrestling history.
Oh, look at you bringing back an old segment.
And it's a AEW Dynamite episode 23 from 2020.
Okay.
Let's see if you remember any of these matches, Josh. Number 1 was Cody defeating Ortiz. Number 2, Bea Presley and Nyla Rose defeating Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander.
Nope, you already lost me.
Number 3, MJF, The Blade and the Butcher defeat Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt in a 6-person tag. Pac, Pentagon Jr., now Penta Zero Miedo, and Rey Fenix defeat Isaiah Cassidy, Joey Janela, and Mark Quinn.
Nope.
And then Adam Page and Dustin Rhodes defeated Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara.
Nope, don't remember it.
Don't remember that at all. Wow. That's shocking to me.
No. How many Dynamites? I mean, it's like, I don't know. That's a good one, though. I like that one. But no, I don't remember that one. Crazy. I probably should have. It was during the pandemic. We weren't doing anything else. So it's like, but no, it sounds like a really good card. But it's kind of crazy, right? Like you could kind of see how the roster has grown.
Yeah, it's growing drastically.
Yeah, so
Big
it's
time.
like, there you go, flashback finisher. Look at you, Speedy. I like that. By the way, Speedy, what was the good question for Caleb? I'm kind of curious, really quick, before I get to my finisher. What was the good question for Caleb? I must have something with that. But yes. If he thought the match was good, I'm sure he probably did, and everything like that. But so my finishing move is about the Briscoes, and the news came out today that Turner Sports does not want the Briscoes on their TV programming. So therefore, they're not going to be in AEW for quite some time. And it goes back to with the Jay Briscoe stuff, the homophobic stuff, the homophobic words that came out from Jay Briscoe.
Well, that I can understand.
Yeah, so I guess in the meantime, they're going to have to continue doing the indie
that
stuff.
I can understand.
And see where everything goes.
I just thought they weren't having them on TV for no reason.
No, they just know they are. Turner doesn't want them on. It's understandable. They've had controversial stuff in the past. It's a shame. It is a shame because they are a very talented group, but they've had a checkered past, and everything of that sort. But to me, I feel, either way, I mean, I don't know if Tony can convince them. It's going to be a hard one to do, but like I said, we'll see what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Before we leave, you can check out our show every single Friday, and of course other programs on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network by downloading the app. Type in WWSRN if you have an Apple iPhone. If you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store, type in Worldwide Sports. You can check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch. Everything is free. It is a good thing when it comes to free because nothing is free anymore, especially gas prices are not free anymore. You could, of course, go back, check out show schedules, articles, clips from past shows. If you're driving, listen to the auto feed, you can have your smart Alexa speaker play it as well. WorldWideSportsRadio.com and on BodySlam.net. Check us out on there and on their YouTube page and their website. It's the best wrestling inside page right now in the business, in our opinion. So it's really, 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 really good stuff. So check us out on BodySlam.net as well. And Alex will plug the website really quick, and then we got to head on over for Weapon Talk.
Yep. So the Off the Mat website, the link in description is in our Twitter bio. You click on that, and it'll take you to the website where you get access to a show and pay-per-view schedule for 2022. It now extends from April into May. Then we have a show archive that you can check out. We have a special guest interview page and so much more. So please feel free to check all that's available.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the wrestling this weekend. Enjoy Weapon Talk coming up next. Don't forget, if you are a sports fan in general, these next few weeks are going to be nuts. I said it last night in Sports Loudmouths. MLB free agency and trades have opened up. The lockout is over, so baseball is back. So the free agency is going to cover this weekend. NFL free agency tampering period starts Monday. March Madness starts next week. And then in 2 weeks is the NHL trade deadline. So if you are a sports fan, check all of that out. And then you have WrestleMania literally the week after. So if you're a sports fan, it is going to be a nutsy next few weeks for sure. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be thrilling. Everybody's going to definitely want to check everything out for sure. I don't know what's getting sent here. What is this? Nobody got signed. Why are you texting me? Nobody got signed. If somebody signed, you text me. Nobody signed, don't text me. All right. So, but yeah, if you're a sports fan, you're going to have a ball these next 48, 72 hours with all the NFL and MLB stuff and then March Madness leading on the NHL trade deadline in a week and a half. So, again, for Speedy PD, for Lyle Gillen, for Alex Lowe's, I'm Josh Silverberg. Enjoy the wrestling this next week. We'll be back on Friday at the same time. We'll be back on at 5:30 because Lyle will be back with Alex. I will be on at 6. Check out Weapon Talk coming up next with, of course, CJ DeSimone, Kevin Jackson, Jimmy Jardine. They're going to break down all Jet stuff, all NFL stuff, Deshaun Watson news, NFL Draft Combine, everything. So check all that out. And to continue to support the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and BodySlam.net. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. This has been Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and BodySlam.net. Have a good one, everybody. Kenny Omega, take it away.
I must bid you adieu. So say with me now if you know it. Goodbye. And good night.
Thank you for listening to Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.